You take a look at these headlines. The media again playing down this IRS scandal after documents reveal that liberals are targeted too. My next guest says that doesn't change a thing for the conservatives caught up in this mess. To Dallas Tea Party's Katrina Pierson, who says if liberals were targeted, they weren't certainly targeted like her. Good to have you back, Katrina. Explain what happened to you and why you find this comparison wanting.
Well, it is a very interesting comparison that's been made, Neil, simply because the IRS openly, willingly admitted to targeting conservative groups. Our group here in Dallas has over 23,000 members with several hundred neighborhood coordinators, which we've had people independently audited. This was very significant and hindered our fundraising efforts in the last election cycle. And now all of a sudden progressive groups are saying they've been targeted. I haven't quite heard the IRS come out and say that.
You know, I always come back, Katrina, to this notion, like, who cares? Whether it's some liberals or even a lot of liberals. Shouldn't liberals and conservatives be incensed that an agency was using its full weight, power, and resources to apparently shake down groups, whether they're liberal or conservative? I think it's mostly conservative. I also think a lot of these liberal groups, some of the targeted words were Occupy, or those you could at least glean at face value to be opposed to the administration. But leaving that aside, that's not what the IRS should be doing.
Oh, absolutely not. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, we're talking about individual and entities operating here in the United States of America, where our government is supposed to be designed to protect the rights that we have under the Constitution, when in fact they're abusing them on every level. And the IRS is just one example as opposed to everything else that's happening right now with us today. We still have not received our tax-exempt status, although I do hear there's a website out there stating that we did, but we have not received any communication from the IRS having received our status. So here we are, 3 years later, still dealing with the issue, and there's been no resolve.
You know what I find amazing is, to your point, and it was a very good point right at the outset, the IRS has admitted it was targeting conservatives. It didn't say it was targeting liberals. But then, lo and behold, we get word that some liberal groups were targeted as much. I think, given some of the words that they were looking for and referencing, because they might have been opposed to things the administration was doing, but that's just a personal thought. But that aside, there is a consistency to this story about abusing our rights and really kind of shaking us down and shaking us in our boots in the process. They work for us. We got to remember that. It's not the other way around. Yet there's very little cover when you say, well, we throw in a couple of liberal groups and all's fair in love and war. No, it's not.
Well, it's not. And then we have the mainstream media, which is really trying to cover the tracks of all of these scandals. I mean, it's no secret that the mainstream media serves as the janitorial service for this administration. But here's the thing,
Well, they were targeting you.
This particular
Katrina,
incident,
hey, guys, mainstreamers, you know, you were targeted. Are you okay with that? Well, yeah, we are, because at least now we were included in this group. So now it's not just conservatives who you can be sympathetic for. No, that's not how it goes.
well, and some of the headlines, they are trying to downplay it. But here's the thing with the IRS scandal, specifically when it comes to conservative groups. You have the government who targeted the most patriotic groups in this country who teach the Constitution. These are people who are very much aware of their constitutional rights. So there's not enough notes that the Federal Reserve can print for apologies. This issue is not going away anytime soon.
All right, Katrina, thank you very, very much. I know for you at home, I always sound like a broken record on this. It's the numbers on the paper the IRS looks at, the numbers, all right? Not the philosophy behind them. Think of that. Left or right? Wrong.